to know.
It was that same thing. It was like, you know, I had to tell the world. And this is a woman who is now very close to me since my mother had already passed. This was my mother-in-law. And I thought, you know, this was a very important part of my life that she should know about. And, you know, I just got this rejection, and it just tore me apart.
I started to try to explain to my family, just because that's all I could think about. Every waking moment was just about thinking about that and about getting back to it. So I started to express it, and people actually feared it, and I felt clumsy because I knew how wonderful it was. I knew how amazing it was, and no matter how hard I tried to verbalize what I had seen or what I had saw, I couldn't put into words.
Surprised me, and in fact, the day that I had the experience and I came back home, I called 5 of my girlfriends and told them about the experience. 4 of them turned right around and started telling me about experiences that they had, which totally surprised me because they'd never ever mentioned it. And then one of the 5 put a note on my door that said, "Please don't call me or talk to me anymore, because I think you are in need of psychiatric help."
You know, for me, it wasn't so much that people weren't open to hearing it. It was just truly that for those closest to me, life went on for them. You know, they could separate that experience from what happened in day-to-day life. And yet, to me, it was all part of everything that I had become and was going to be from that point forward. It wasn't a separate experience. So for me, it changed the way I dealt with others.
On the other hand, if they know I've had a near-death experience, they will often ask. And what frustrates me is they want to know the situation, not about the lessons, not about what I take with it, not about the journey, not about what's reality or what it is, just what happened to you. I mean, if I talk about the spirit side or going beyond and the messages, it seems like that's insignificant to others. They just want to know, well, how did it happen? Like, was there a lot of blood, or was, you know?
I felt a difference between me and my friends, and everybody wanted to talk to me about the physical part of the accident. You know, how bad did it hurt? What, you know, what happened? And really, all I wanted to talk about was the experience that I had with the death, and people thought I was crazy. They walked away from me. As you know, I went to the classroom to talk about it, and some people acknowledged it, and some people were like, "What a freak! What a weirdo! I can't deal with him." And
They just are fascinated with that part. I just want to shut down, really. That's kind of, I guess, what makes me not want to talk. It's like, oh, I don't want to do this again, because they're just going to want to know the story.
You're definitely in a minority, because if I went out every day and said to everybody that I met, I talked to God, you know, they would think I was nuts, you know. And it's sad that you can't talk freely about the experience. So I feel pinned in, like I have all of this exuberance and all of these lessons to give, but you also have to have a receiver.
And he said, "You must go and tell your story." And I said, "No one wants to hear my story." And he said, "They will want to hear your story." And as I was telling it, it was the first time that people understood what I was saying, because they were nodding in acceptance. "Yeah, we know what you're talking about." And I thought, wow, someone really wants to hear this, and they know what I'm saying. And I was having trouble finding words to express what happened to me. In the telling of the story, I got real emotional because I had buried it for so long that one of the experiencers sitting to my right held me, and they just allowed me to cry for about 15 to 20 minutes. And I didn't realize the impact of holding it in so long, what it really did to me.